Hey there, internet friends. Cheddar here. I hope everything is going well for you. Thank you for joining me for another video. This video is another tier list video. It's another tier list video. This time it's a tier list for all movies directed by Osgood Perkins. Osgood Perkins, or known as Oz Perkins, has directed 4 movies, which is not a whole lot, but he's got a 5th one in the works, and I've seen all of them, so I'm gonna do a bit of a tier list. I like tier lists because I think tier lists are just a fun way to communicate mostly opinions. Some can be perhaps more evidence-based than others, but I think tier lists are mostly good for communicating opinions, and they're just fun. It's fun to see people's rankings, and they kind of express cool feelings of, they're just fun. I like tier lists a lot. I've always liked them, so we're making an Oz Perkins tier list. So just to go over for me, I think all movie discussion can really boil down into 3 basic elements. One would just be enjoyment. How much did I like the movie? 2 would be rewatchability. How much would I like to rewatch the movie? This has some exceptions to it too. Some movies I feel are better kind of not watched the second time, or there's some exceptions to that one. So at risk on that, but rewatchability. And then the third one would be recommendability. How likely am I to recommend the movie to you? Do I think it's worth your time? And when I make the tier list, a good way to read my tier list is if I had to watch another of this director's movies again, if I had to watch another Oz Perkins movie, what would be my first pick? Or if I could pick one to watch with you, I think that's the best way to express it. If I could pick, if you and me were going to watch a movie and you asked me which Oz Perkins movie should we start with, we're going to figure out my number 1 pick, and we're going to figure out my last pick. Okay, so that's how we're going to use my tier list. Okay, so thank you for joining me. Let's dive right in. So my tier list is here. First one, oh boy, this is Oz Perkins himself, the man, the myth, the legend. He's getting an S tier. He's going an S. Hell yeah. Thank you, Oz. You rule. Thank you for the movies. So fist bump, not a punch, fist bump. Okay, first movie directed by Oz Perkins, The Black Coat's Daughter. If you want to hear my in-depth opinions, you can go to my actual reviews. I'll try to link those in the description below, but I like Black Coat's Daughter a lot. It's an awesome horror movie. I have argued with it, being I don't think it's an S tier horror movie, okay? I go back and forth, honestly, between a B+ and A-. So, I think just in the test of time and overall, I'm going to put it at a very high B+. It sits so on the fence. I want to give it an A, but I just think that there's a couple things that, it's a couple, like 2 things that stick out to me just a little bit that just sort of bother me, but not a whole lot, just little things. But I really like this movie. I recommend. It is a bit of a slow movie, so you got to be in for a slow burn, but I very much enjoy it. The second one, directed by Oz Perkins, is I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. This one I liked too, but not nearly as much as The Black Coat's Daughter. I think this one's just okay. Also, another good way to read my tier list is I think my upper tiers, the S through B, are movies that I would recommend. I would say go out of your way to watch these movies. Movies in the C to F tier, I would say not so much. You don't need to go out of your way to see them. They're basically the not so much recommended movies. But C movies I think are okay. All right, so C is kind of a weird tier where I'm not really recommending the movie, but I don't think it's bad. It's not a bad movie. This one is this is okay. C is okay movies. D is movies that I didn't really like. And then F, I think, is a bad movie that you should just avoid. So D would be lacking, but there's maybe some good in there, but just buried under a couple extra problems. But F would be avoid. So I think I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House is okay. I don't think you need to go out of your way to see it. I think there's better Oz Perkins movies I'm giving this one a C. The third one, directed by Oz Perkins, is Gretel and Hansel. If you have heard my review with this, you knew that I did not really like this movie that much. I would put this one in the D tier. I just think it was particularly lacking in the script, basically. Okay, it's just it started off with a lot of promise and a lot of things I liked, and then I felt left wanting a lot more. I felt like I didn't get what I wanted out of this movie, okay? But there is some good things in the movie. It's not a bad movie, okay? It's not a bad movie. I don't really recommend it, okay? That's where I'm gonna sit with it. I just don't think it's a very good investment of time, okay? But it's not, there's many, many, many worse movies, okay? It's not a bad movie by any means. The most recent movie directed by Longlegs, oh my gosh, directed by Oz Perkins is Longlegs, and it's not A for me. It's probably gonna be A for some people. This movie left me wanting a lot more too. It kind of also sits on the fence of an A- to a B+. I do think there's definitely some A tier elements in this movie for sure, and it was almost there for me, man. It really was. I wanted to love this movie, and I kind of tried to even gear myself to, like, do I feel an A? Am I feeling an A? But I just like the Black Coat's Daughter more, and it's going to come down to, you may have to watch my Longlegs review, but Longlegs is a serial killer horror movie about a serial killer guy named Longlegs, and it just left me wanting more. I thought Longlegs, the killer himself, was just underwhelming, okay? So anytime we got to see Longlegs and his time to shine, he didn't shine like I wanted him to shine in his evil nature. He was surpassed by other evil things in the movie that I thought were cooler, and, you know, I talk about those in my review, but Longlegs left me wanting a little bit more, but I still really liked the movie. It was still cool. So do I put it at, I like Black Coat's Daughter more, so this is where I would say my Oz Perkins ranking sits for now, for Oz Perkins ranking. So he himself is S tier. My favorite's Black Coat's Daughter. The one I would probably recommend, if you're still listening, the one I would recommend for most people to check out is Longlegs, for sure. Black Coat's Daughter is my favorite, but Longlegs is what I would tell people to watch. Okay, so especially for the average viewer. It was a good movie. It was really good. So this is my tier list. If you have any thoughts or comments on this list, leave them below. If you want to post your mini tier list below, link that below. I'll take a look at that. I love tier lists and talking about the rankings. So this is my feelings on it. Yep. For the next director filmography I'm going to be going through is M. Night Shyamalan. So that is going to be a wild ride. You get anything from movies like The Sixth Sense to movies like The Last Airbender. So it's going to be crazy going through the M. Night Shyamalan movies and then doing a tier list of those. So I've seen about half of his movies, but I think I haven't seen 6, and I'm going to be rewatching some of them just to solidify my feelings of what I think. So keep an eye out for the M. Night Shyamalan reviews and some other music reviews, because I also enjoy going through music and ranking music material as well. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for your time. I hope everything in life is going well for you, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate Oz Perkins. Thank you, Oz Perkins, and everyone who helped make these movies. I'm a movie fan, and even if I didn't like the movie very much, I still enjoyed, this experience. So I'm not unappreciative of any part of it. So thank you all, and have a good night, even though it's day. See you later. Goodbye. I'm catching a ride, it's alright. It's
tonight. We're gonna take flight. I miss the boat, too tired. Show.